Hey, what's up, you guys? As many of you may or may not know, I am getting married tomorrow. Oh my god, nerve-wracking. But super excited. And so today I did my wedding makeup, which is what you're currently seeing on my face. And I thought I would go over what I used, because I feel like when you look up wedding makeup on YouTube, it's very, like, light and airy and sultry and whatever. And, like, I feel like I am not those things. Like, I don't like my makeup to be very light. You know, if I'm gonna go through the hassle of putting on makeup, I want people to know that I'm wearing makeup. So I wanted to show you kind of maybe an alternative to a wedding makeup. I mean, it's still fairly neutral, but I mean, this is kind of the type of look that I wear anyway. So I wanted to show you some of the products that I used to create this look. It's not really going to be a tutorial because I didn't really think of making this video until after my face was done. But I will show you some of the things that I'm using, and, you know, if you have any tips or anything, I'll probably upload this tonight, so who knows. But if you have any tips or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments down below. Maybe even to help other people who are looking for wedding makeup to do as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. On my eyes, I used a couple of different palettes actually, because I'm high maintenance and need more than one, I guess. But the main two are these two Tarte palettes. The Tartelette in Bloom, which is a very classic looking wedding palette, lots of neutrals, and like there's some rosy tones. I really used just the rosy ones on the bottom. And then the Make Believe in Yourself palette from Tarte, which I adore. I'm so glad I picked this palette up. This is actually the palette that I used on my cousin when I did her wedding makeup, though since her theme was kind of more like purples and blues, I used this shade Crystal on her, which is still really beautiful. It's like a silvery purple shift. But on me, I used the shade Pixie right next to it. So it's kind of like a pinky gold duochrome type shade. So on my eyes today, I used the Tartelette in Bloom first, after applying some Milani eyeshadow primer. And I put the shade Sweetheart, which is this kind of pinky, light pinky shade in the crease, like as a transition shade. I used the shade Rebel, the one right next to it, kind of in the crease as well to deepen it. And then I put the shade Leader, which is the darkest one, in the very outer corner. I don't know if you can tell, but kind of see the gradient. It's like darkest right out here. And then I put Pixie from this palette all over the lid with my fingers. So you kind of get that light in the center of the lid effect, I guess. And then in the inner corner, I was originally going to use the shade Funny Girl from the Tartelette palette, the really shimmery corner one. But it just wasn't giving me the shimmer that I wanted, or like the lightness in the inner corner that I wanted. So I actually pulled out this Juvia's Place palette. This is the Saharan 2 by Juvia's. Probably my favorite Juvia's palette. I feel like nobody talks about it in comparison to the others. This is what it looks like. And I just used this shade right here out in the inner corner. It's kind of like a white gold. It's got kind of a... Oh, you can even see the light is like not good. But it's just kind of like a highlighty shade, like a whitish gold color. So I put that in the inner corner on a wet brush, and kind of melded it over, and it kind of made the look that you can see. Haha. So yeah, that's what I have on my eyes. For mascara, I used my Julep Length Matters mascara. This is like my go-to. I bought like a ton of backups when Julep was being out of my Ulta. I don't know if it's out of all Ultas, but I really do like this mascara. So this is what I have on my lashes. I don't think I'm going to be wearing false lashes just because it's kind of a, like, even though I love the look of it, they're kind of a hassle, and I don't really know if I want to deal with that. So I'll probably just have my natural lashes, which I'm fine with. Yeah, and then on the lower lash line, I have those like transition-y shades, but also with this Bare Minerals Lasting Line liner on the bottom. So that's what the eye look looks like. I don't know if it's focusing, but that's kind of what it looks like there. So now for the face. This is where I thought I was mainly more concerned about the eye look, because I was like, oh, I use the same face stuff all the time. I don't need to, you know, try to do my foundation correctly. But I'm kind of glad I did, because I'm trying a combination of primers. I wanted to use this Becca First Light Priming Filter primer. I have like little itty bitty teeny bit left. And I really like the more, like how this makes you more radiant under your foundation. It's got like this bluish tint, which when you blend it out, it kind of just makes everything look more glowy. But I don't really like how it makes my foundation like over time. It like starts looking, you know, glowy, and then it just starts looking greasy. So I didn't really know if I wanted to use this on its own, but the only other face primer I have is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So I used 1 pump of each on the face. This one is a little more mattifying, and it's a little more pore filling, and it really sticks the foundation to your face. So I am glad that I tried this out just to kind of watch my foundation today as I go throughout my day and just see how this works. Because like I said, I do like the finish of this, and like in my head on my wedding day, you know, you really want to be kind of glowy and beautiful, which I know that this will, but I don't really want that effect like past a certain point. You know what I mean? Makes sense? So hopefully these two work really nice together. Then I used for foundation the Maybelline Superstay. I really love this foundation. This is the second bottle I've gone through. Actually, maybe the third bottle I've gone through total since they've launched this line. I had one old one without the pump, like when they first launched it, and then, you know, another one and this one of the pump kind. But anyway, that's beside the point. This is in the shade Natural Ivory, number 112. And I really like the staying power of this. I used a lot less this time than I normally do. I used like 2 pumps rather than usually I do like 3 or 4 on my hand. So again, I'm going to see how that holds up on my face. Where is that foundation? It does feel lighter on the face, which is a good thing. You know, you don't want too heavy of a foundation. Let me grab that quick. Ew. Okay. Whew, I tell you, it's not a video of mine if I don't drop something on the ground. But yeah, I really do like this foundation. Stays really well. I want to see how it pairs with those primer combinations and the, you know, less or like lack of foundation compared to what I normally use. For concealer, I have a couple of different concealers that I could use, but I reached for the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Light. Again, I used less of it than I normally do, because normally I do the whole like triangle thing under the eyes and blend it out. But today I just put a little bit in the inner corner and then like a teeny bit out here and blended it out again with like the center of the face and everything too. And I think I like the coverage. You know, it doesn't look too cakey and too heavy. It's been a hot minute since I've used Shape Tape. Lately, I've been really into the Fenty concealer and the NARS crease. What is this? Soft Matte Concealer. But I thought for my wedding day, I would try a little more coverage, so I reached for the Tarte one. And then one more thing I haven't done for freaking ever is reach for my Coty Airspun. This I used to bake the face with the concealer. Lately, I've been really loving the Becca powder, which I talked about in a video, like my most recent video. But I pulled this bad boy back out because I haven't reached for it in a hot minute and I wanted to try baking the face with it. I put like, not like a full-on bake, but just like a little bit under the eyes and then, you know, down here on the center of the face. And I really like the coverage so far. Again, I just applied this face, so we'll see how everything holds up throughout the day. But again, this is stuff I'm going to be reaching for. If all goes well, I'll be reaching for it tomorrow on the big day. So I set my face with that. Then I did my brows. My brows have been kind of a mess lately. They're looking good on camera, but I feel like especially this one here, it just doesn't know what it wants to do. It's got like a weird arch to it. But I didn't want to mess anything up with my brows, so I just used my two go-to brow products, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer Pencil in the shade Brunette, and the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. Nothing really, like, crazy out of the ordinary. It's my normal brow routine, but I love those two products for my brows. And then, let's see, once I did my brows, I kicked off the bake under my eyes. And since I used a more mattifying powder this time, I used the Hourglass Luminous Light Ambient Lighting Powder to remove some of that mattifyingness. So this powder is very, like, it has a soft, like, sheen to it. So while you're removing all that excess powder, you're kind of adding a little bit of a glow to your skin. I love this. As you can tell, I've hit major pan on it. And I feel like I've had this for forever, so I really need to start using it more to kind of, you know, finish it. But I do love this to add like a little soft kind of glow everywhere. Then when I went to bronze, I have a couple different bronzers, but I tend to go kind of overboard on bronzer usually. So I wanted to reach for something that I knew would be like a decent bronzer. So I pulled out this palette. This is the Too Faced Best Year Ever 2018 one. This is the holiday palette that came with a planner from last year. And they have the Chocolate Soleil bronzer in here, which I love. I had a full size of it like a while ago, but I finished it. And so I've just been reaching for this bronzer every once in a while. So nice. It's their classic Chocolate Soleil formula, and I just love it, and I know it, you know, will do the job for me. So I just kind of bronzed all over the face using my e.l.f. complexion brush, and then I went into contour with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Say what you will about Kat Von D, but this is like, I'm trying to finish this up. You can see I have 2 pans already done and then 1 here, but I really like to mix the 2 end contour shades. So this one, obviously, and that, to do my cheeks, which probably could be settled down a little bit for the actual wedding. Like, maybe I would just reach for this and not so much the deepest shade. But then I use this shade as well for my nose contour and along my jawline. So I really like these powders. I just wish it wasn't really, like, so much attached to Kat Von D or, like, had a bad rap for, like, the creator of it. I don't know. Then for blush, I pulled out my Cheek Leaders blush palette. I wanted something more neutrally kind of, but still like cute. So I reached for Gold Rush out of here. It's just kind of a neutrally, you know, pinkish goldy blush. Super pretty on the cheeks is what I'm obviously wearing today. It just adds a little bit of color without being too kind of like over the top dramatic. So that's what I'm wearing on my cheeks. And then for highlighter, this is where I was really like conflicted because I have so many highlights and I wanted the ones to not be like overwhelming. I mean, it is really glowy and I probably could have skipped like one of the steps I did, but I just think it's so beautiful. Like, I just love glowing, like, highlights. So first off, I used the ColourPop Lunch Money Super Shock Shadow, or Super Shock Highlighter. And I laid that down everywhere I normally highlight. So I just used my fingers and popped it, you know, right here, above the brow, down the nose, the chin, the Cupid's bow, you know, just everywhere I normally highlight. Then my thought was, I'll go in with this Laura Mercier Highlight 01. This is their Matte Radiance Baked Powder. This is what I also used on my cousin for her wedding stuff, because she, unlike me, doesn't really wear a ton of makeup usually, and so she wanted to be just a little glowy but nothing crazy, and this provides just a subtle glow. So I thought I would use this above my brow and down the center of the face, and then have the real highlight on the cheekbones. But y'all know me. And as soon as I dip my friggin' brush into this powder and put it on my nose, I was like, ooh, that is super pretty, like over the top of that ColourPop one. So it eventually just went like everywhere. It went on the cheeks, it went above the brows, it went on the chin, Cupid's bow, everywhere. And then, you know, I wasn't satisfied. It looked gorgeous, but I just was not as satisfied as I thought I would be. So then I went into my Amrezy highlight from Anastasia. This is a little more shimmery and a little more golden. And I just popped that right on like this side of my cheekbones. And that is how I am glowing today. Don't know if I'm going to go all out like that on the day. I really like it, but I feel like a lot of people would be like, ooh, it's too much makeup on your wedding day. But the thing is, like, I feel like this is just, like, my normal face, I guess. Like, if I'm gonna do my makeup, it's gonna be something similar to this, wedding or not. So, we'll see. But I do like the glow. I barely ever reach for this Laura Mercier one, but I do keep it around just for, like, occasions like this where you want just, like, a nice kind of subtly glow. So yeah, really pretty. Love that combination. And last but not least, on the lips today, and tomorrow, I guess, I'm wearing the MAC lip pencil in Soar, just to line my lips and fill them in a little on the outline. Definitely gonna need to sharpen this before tomorrow. But this and Whirl are like my go-to MAC lip liners. I actually bought backups of them before I came over here because I knew I could not be without them. And then I'm using the Makeup Revolution matte, what is this? It doesn't even say. Makeup Revolution lipstick in Cashmere. It's the one with the leopard print packaging. And this is just a really pretty nude. Who would have thought I would have reached for a bullet lipstick on my wedding day? Who knows? But part of me wants to either do this or the bullet lipstick in Celebrity Skin, because that is also like a go-to lip for me. Not like this particular, but like the color. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this one is a little bit more nudie pinky, whereas the Celebrity Skin's a little more like nudie gray sort of. So I think I might stick with this, but we'll see. And then obviously I set everything with the NYX Matte Finish Spray. That is a no-brainer. That is my usual routine for makeup in general. But yeah, the only other thing is I may add a gloss. I don't know. Probably not. I'm not really a super fan of glosses, and I like a more matte lip finish. But we'll see on the day. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my face. I hope that it's a good wedding makeup, but I mean, I guess it's whatever I want it to be. So this is the ring, by the way. Stunning. Wedding nails. Oh, are we living for them? I am obsessed with them. Anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a beautiful day. The next time you see me, I will be a married woman. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye.